Hi, Andrei. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, Tim. Hi. Very nice being with you today.
Yeah, looking forward to speaking to you about kind of GamingTec, the company and its goals. To start off with, though, I thought it'd be good to get a little intro from you. Can you tell us a bit about yourself, your background, and what you do in your current role?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, first of all, very nice meeting you. It's the first time we ever talk, so nice speaking to you, and I hope that you had a nice weekend. Yeah, thank you. So about myself, well, I've spent a couple of good years in the industry. This is my 8th, which just started in 2021. So I've been most of the time with every matrix in the past 7.5 years. I've joined them in 2014, and it all started with some sort of internship in the sales team. I was mainly doing affiliate management, and then slowly, of course, building up my experience into the proper sales team, if I can say so. So I moved here and there, but always inside the company. So I switched positions doing sales and account management. So it was 100% commercial all the time. Most of the time I was in Bucharest, but then I also decided to try Malta for a couple of months, and it was a nice experience. I mean, who doesn't love to live on an island? At least for their life. And then, yeah, this opportunity came with GamingTec, and I think the company was great. Everything that was presented to me was sustainable, feasible. I like their project. I think it also gives me a huge opportunity to grow because I spend most of the years in sales management, and right now I switched to commercial director, which is a quite of a big of a raise of an impact for myself. And I hope that I can bring the same impact for the company and help them grow, help them develop into this new project, new adventure. So this in big lines is what I have been doing lately.
Yeah, sure. How have you found your time with the company so far, with GamingTec?
I think it was very, very nice. Obviously, it's only 6 weeks, so I'm still very, very new to this company. I spent the first week in Kiev with with the rest of the team. This is where they're based. Let's say their main HQ. Most of the employees are sitting there, although they have a very nice policy of pretty much allowing everyone to work remotely. And right now I'm in Bucharest, so I prefer to work from home. It's natural. So yeah, I managed to meet most of the team. They're all very nice people. I've been more than welcomed. I've been involved in meetings from the very beginning, so I really feel like everyone was very warm, and it's very, very easy to build those kinds of professional relationships inside the company. And I can say that maybe with some of the guys I'm already friends with. So yeah, it's been very nice. I'm looking forward to what's upcoming.
Yeah, sure. No, that does sound nice, and I appreciate as you say, you're very new to the company. But from what you know so far, and obviously what you would have maybe researched kind of when getting the job, can you walk us through GamingTec's journey? As I understand, kind of started in 2013, around then. So it's quite a young company. But can you kind of walk us through the journey and the history of the brand?
Well, yes, if you can consider like 8-9 years in the industry to be still a young company, then yeah, okay.
True, it's not that young, yeah.
Not that young, not that young. They are quite experienced, and they build themselves up. So they started very, very small, and now we're looking at a company of more than 200 people, and still growing, of course, constantly. We have a lot of new job openings, which I invite everyone, to check out. I think that up until, let's say, this year, they have focused mostly on B2C. So this is where their attention went to, and pretty much all of their resources, and they've done a pretty good job. So keeping on growing year after year means that, of course, they were resourceful, and they've done their jobs pretty well. So with me coming to GamingTec, it's not a shift in focus, but let's say that the company also wants to dedicate itself to the B2B sector. So this is where my experience lies in, and I think that that the company realized the importance of going into both spaces, because B2C is of course nice, also very risky. It can be very profitable, but you need to have sort of a backup. And I think the future is with B2B for both gaming tech and the providing industry itself.
Yeah, for sure. Can you talk us through the kind of breakdown of the business? So obviously you've mentioned B2C and kind of newer to B2B, but also in terms of casino and sports betting and kind of the verticals you work with.
Of course. So pretty much gaming tech offers the full product suite that you would find in the industry. Yeah. And there's a lot of competition out there, but I think that every competitor has its own ups and downs. With gaming tech, you would find, as I said, the full range of products, starting with the PAM, a wallet functionality that we call the GT Core. That is pretty much fully developed in-house over the past 6-7 years. And then we don't have our proprietary sportsbook. I don't think that's in the future plans, but we are cooperating with several names from the industry. So we are aggregating various APIs, and of course we are capable of building the front end, the UI UX ourselves. As for casino, we are doing what pretty much everyone else out there is doing, which is aggregating and adding our own idea of gamification to the casino platform. We also have payments, pretty much spread across the world, so it's quite a good solution. And of course, our own affiliate platform, affiliate management system, if you want to call it like that, which is called Income Partners. Of course, there are additional, let's say, features, third-party tools which are integrated into the platform, which are definitely out there to help both the B2C and the B2B side clients. So full product suite.
Yeah, sure. And are there any kind of new products in the pipeline, I guess in the coming months, really, maybe early 2022, or anything that you can talk about? Because I know often, there's the exclusives, you can't quite say anything just yet, maybe.
Well, yes, everyone I think has their own plans for 2022, and not only, I mean, it's short, medium, and long term as well. I can't say that we have anything, out of the ordinary coming up. Normal plans, normal development features that are, coming to make the product more appealing, more complete to the market requirements. Maybe the biggest plans are to expand. So on the B2C side, we were focused on a couple of markets, and now from the B2B perspective, we are planning to target a lot more than that. So focusing on, I don't know, LATAM, maybe Africa, Asia, and slowly getting into Europe, which is vastly regulated, a bit saturated, if you ask me. But I think there's room for everyone. We just need to find, the niche where we can be the most relevant.
So we talked about kind of 2022 and plans. Briefly, we mentioned we'll go into a little bit more about that later as well. But looking back, 2021 as a whole for the iGaming industry, how do you kind of reflect? Because obviously 2020, a lot of growth in online gaming, a huge amount. 2021, how do you and GamingTec look back on this year?
Well, slightly difficult for me to assess, the growth that the company had, because I'm still new here. Looking at the numbers, it's clear that there was a growth year after year. I think 2020 was amazing for pretty much everyone in the online space with this pandemic thing, and everyone shifting a bit their focus from retail to online, and the players themselves, having no more means to an end and no more places to go and gamble. They had to open up accounts, and of course I think the market value in pretty much all markets increased drastically. I would say the trend kept on being the same for 2021, and I think that it will still be the case for next year. The pandemic didn't go anywhere, as we were all expecting it to. Just maybe half of 2021 we should have had a stop to it. It seems not. It seems like fourth, fifth, sixth wave are still coming up. a lot of lockdowns, a lot of restrictions. So I still think that the online space is going to be fully relevant. So yeah, this is why, I think every single operator and provider should be focusing on improving their UI, their UX, new features, keeping the users engaged.
Yeah. So in terms of, you mentioned a couple of trends there, and previously you mentioned kind of looking at regulated markets, and obviously, so you expect still there to be strong growth in 2022. Are there any other kind of trends that people should really focus on in the industry when it comes to next year?
Very good question. And actually, I read a couple of weeks ago a very interesting article, about the importance of UI UX in this gambling industry, comparing it to the IT industry or any other like travel, and hospitality and so on. I think that a lot of operators are still thinking old, yeah. So there are a lot of sites which don't have an updated front end for years and years, and the players tend to be switching. And this, of course, is also a matter of technology and markets. So in Europe, you would find a lot of new technology being used in both backend and front end. A lot of features being developed in no time, and this is mostly based on players' feedback. But when you go to, I don't know, Africa, Latin, maybe Asia, you will discover that they are not necessarily following this trend. And I'm pretty sure that, with this uprising in technology worldwide, I think this industry also needs to focus on UI UX. So this would be what I think that 2022 will bring up for everyone. Improved experience, improved interface, and overall a player journey that can be more and more appealing.
Yeah, for sure. That's kind of, we've touched on the trends there. And my next question was going to be, which I think you've touched on there as well, was going to be, what are the kind of biggest challenges iGaming companies have at the moment going into 2022? But from what you're saying there, I think that in itself is a bit of a challenge. And given the fact that it's such a competitive industry with so many kind of companies fighting for that market share, I guess that having the best UX is, as well as a trend and a target, it's a challenge as well.
Exactly. As you well said, it's a challenge in itself. And, how do you differentiate yourself against competition? Well, probably this is the best right now, because everyone started to use the same idea of, APIs and having the best offering on the market. Those are all the titles that you would find, with any provider and any data provider in special. Best live coverage, best coverage, all of those words, leading supplier. I mean, everyone is a leading supplier nowadays, but what does that mean for the player? Yeah. I mean, the player wouldn't know what's happening behind most of the times. So they know what they are served with, and this is the user experience. So yeah, I think that's the main challenge.
Sure. So thanks very much for your answers so far. We've talked about some really interesting stuff. I think for a final kind of major topic from me, final question, if we were sitting here in 12 months' time, December 2022, what for you would constitute a successful year for yourself and for GamingTec? If you kind of had a couple of wishes of kind of maybe a Christmas list this time next year, what would be a good 2022 for yourself?
Very interesting question, and I'm happy that you asked me that, because obviously we worked on a strategy, of course, budgets and new hirings and all of that for 2022. So this B2B side of GamingTec is, of course, growing. So the aim would be, first of all, to have a proper team behind the project, key people, experienced people that can actually help us grow, and this growth will be measured by KPIs, obviously. So meeting those KPIs would definitely be number one on the list. And, among the KPIs, I would say having strategic clients in key markets. So having managed to expand, as I just said previously, that this is our main plan. Having managed to increase revenues, by a certain percentage that we have in mind. And overall, being more and more present and relevant to the market. Because right now, from this B2B perspective, GamingTec is not necessarily on the radar. So if you ask me in 2022, I think this radar needs to be more and more on GamingTec. This is my main plan.
Well, Andrei, best of luck with your plans. Hopefully have a happy holiday period as well. And thank you very much for your time.
Thank you, Tim. I wish you the same. And I hope that next time we meet, we will have more and more to talk.
Absolutely. Thanks very much.